In the previous lecture, we saw how we could Dockerize our Fast API application and run it locally. So now let's think about how we would actually deploy the Dockerized application. First up, we're going to have a look at the config YAML. And if we scroll down in the jobs to section 8, we have a series of steps here, and quite a few of these steps have make commands, so we'll have a look at the make file as well in a moment. So we have standard Circle CI configuration here. The only thing to note that's different is that we do have to set up remote Docker, and I'll link to more about this in the lecture notes, but suffice it to say that if you want to run Docker in the way that we are here, you have to have this configuration set. Okay, so we have 3 key commands that we run, or stages you could say. The first is to build the image, and the way we do this is we make sure we have the Heroku command line interface installed. So we run this curl command to install it, and then this command is just changing into the correct directory, and then running our make build ml API Heroku command. So all these make commands are defined in the make file in the section 8 directory, and so this one, build ml API Heroku, we have a prerequisite which is Heroku login. This colon syntax means that Heroku login is a prerequisite of the build ml API Heroku task. And what this does is runs the Heroku container login. So we're logging into the Heroku container registry. Usually when you download a Docker image, by default it will grab it from Docker Hub, which is where all open images are stored. But in our case, we are creating a private Docker image, and that image is going to be stored in the Heroku container registry. Here's the Heroku documentation about deploying with Docker, and you can see that there are 2 ways to deploy with Docker. We're using the first way, which is where we deploy pre-built Docker images to Heroku. So we build them in our CI pipeline, and they go to the container registry, which is detailed here. So as described here, we're first running this Heroku login command. The only difference is that we're just doing it in our make file. Next up, we run docker build, and you'll recall that this is the same command that we ran locally before, so same build argument being passed in. The only difference is that when we tag it, the URL changes. So this is what we have to specify: registry.heroku.com and our Heroku app name /web. And don't forget the period here. This just indicates that we're building the Docker image from the current directory. Okay, so once this step is complete, in our CI pipeline we've constructed this image, but it's no good just building it. We actually have to push it so that it can be stored and fetched later, and that's what the next step is, this push image to Heroku, specifically the Heroku container registry. And we do this through the make push ml API Heroku command, which again, another makefile command. Here it is, and it's docker push and specifying the Heroku image registry. So we've constructed the image, and then we push the image so that it's stored on this registry server, which is run by Heroku. Okay, and then the final step is to actually say to Heroku, hey, the image is available, now we can deploy it, we can do the release. And we do this through the make release Heroku command, and this is using the Heroku command line interface. You'll recall that we had to make sure we installed this early on in the steps, and it's Heroku container :release web -- app, and then we specify the Heroku app name. So in order for this to work, these environment variables you see, like the pip extra index URL and the Heroku app name and the Heroku API key, these all need to be set in the Circle CI project configuration environment variables. Time now for a quick thought experiment. What do you think this Heroku container release web command is doing under the hood? Go ahead and pause the video, have a bit of a think about it, and then when you return, I'll walk you through it. Okay, so if you've returned back to the video, what's happening here is that we've abstracted away some of the complexity, but it's basically what we were doing in the previous lecture, where we ran the docker run command once we'd built our image. Now there's probably a few more steps that the CLI will run on the Heroku server, like stopping any currently running Docker containers related to our app, and rebuilding from the new image that it's aware of in the container registry. But it will then fundamentally be running the docker run command to spin up a new container. And that's what I want you to really take away from here, is the principles of what's happening. You don't want to fixate on any one particular technology, one particular cloud provider, platform, command line interface. You want to understand that we've Dockerized our application, and now when we want to set up a CI pipeline to automate things, we're fundamentally creating steps to build our Docker image, to publish our Docker image, and then to trigger a deploy using that updated image. So these are the stages, and no matter which platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, if you've Dockerized your application, those fundamental steps won't change a great deal. So with those caveats in mind, if you now want an exercise to try this out, feel free in your forked copy of the example repo to have a play with this section 8 job. If you scroll down to the bottom of the file, you'll find that we've set section 8 deploy app in Heroku to only run when you merge the master branch. So if you want to have a play with this and open pull requests and run the Dockerized Heroku deploy, you can just comment out the filter, don't forget to remove the colon here, and then it's going to run on any new branch. So you can test that out and check in your Heroku console that you see the deploy. Obviously in your Circle CI config, you'll need to make sure you update these environment variables in order to do that. So now at this point, we've deployed our app to Heroku with all the benefits of containerization in an automated fashion. So we're tightening up the whole process here and how we're doing our deployments. And in the next section, we're going to continue with these improvements. I'll see you then.